What does sueñito mean?
Sueñito. It means little dream.
That's it? No story?
All right, everybody sit down.
It's a story of a block that was disappearing.
I grew up in a neighborhood like Washington Heights. I lived in Washington Heights when I was after I graduated college. I mean, so that community, especially predominantly Latino community, is very familiar to me. And that's where I'm most comfortable, if you will. Like this character, he's layered, right? Like his family means a lot to him. He has dreams of leaving New York. And it's funny, most New Yorkers, if you ask them, they're like, yo, if only I could move to like Florida, or if I could move to like back to Puerto Rico, or move to Dominican Republic, or right, wherever their family's from, or wherever their family is kind of leaving New York to go to. He finds his love for not only for New York, but like home, and he embraces how he grew up and the hardships and like what he went through in his life up until this point. With the city being tough, it gives you this extra layer that I think I relate to Usnavi with, and I learned to love it. And now I'm like, yo, I will never live anywhere else,
On these blocks, you can't walk 2 steps without bumping into someone's big plan.
I'm making moves, I'm making deals, but guess what?
What?
You still ain't got no skills.
Well, I was looking forward to 96,000 because up until that point, I told John, I was asking him, I was like, man, do I have to take my shirt off in the pool? Like, I really don't want to take my shirt off in the pool. And he was like, yeah, I mean, it's a pool. Like, why would you keep your shirt? I was like, I don't want to take my shirt off, bro. Like, I ain't got muscles popping out so I was I circled that one in my calendar because I was like, okay, here we go. Like, that's the day. And then you can have some McDonald's after this. And then literally we shoot the thing. It's supposed to be the hottest day of the year in the film. It was the coldest day of the summer, rained out. Everybody ran. Then we had to wait another few weeks. Then I had to recircle it, stay on the diet. But we finally got that McDonald's after we all piled into Melissa's trailer or Anthony's trailer and like just started eating McDonald's once we wrapped it. But that was a lot of fun. And obviously the ending scene too, with running on the side of the building, dancing with Lesie Grace, that was just awesome.
Carnaval del Barrio, Party in the Hood. That was like the scene that I was really, really looking forward to shooting. I was like, yo, this is going to be crazy. We had one day to shoot this scene that, should have taken us, at least 2 or 3 days of shooting. John was our director, so laser focused. Like nobody could throw him off his game. Like, I mean, and he was so poised, and he just was like every shot, man. My man's was just, he was boom, boom, boom. All right, moving on. Let's go. Boom, 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 boom. Let's do this crane shot. I mean, he's an animal. He's incredible, man. And I think that day was just so special because we did this thing that, it just felt like this beast of a musical number we did in this one day. And it took so many people to come together to make that thing happen. That day was my favorite day on set. That day was my favorite day on a set, period.
The day that we were shooting Champagne, I was excited about it and nervous about it because that was a number that we were going to sing live, and it was going to be a oneer, one take all throughout. And so I was excited about it because I grew up doing theater, and that's what I went to school for. And that felt like a very theatrical live thing to do. And there's something to say about being completely in the moment and letting the emotions take over and telling the story from beginning to end without having to cut and like do different camera setups. And, like it cuts kind of the flow. And when John decided that he wanted to do that as a oneer and live because it was indoors, it was very exciting for me.
They're talking about kicking out all the dreamers. It's time to make some noise.
We had to assert our dignity in small ways.
There were days that I would go to set, like for 96,000, for example. I'm not in that number, but I just wanted to go to set because I knew it was going to be a crazy number. And I know the Highbridge pool, like my mom, I'm from the Bronx. I was born in the Bronx, and my mom, spent so many of her childhood days, like, in the Highbridge pool, trying to see a little cutie here or whatever. And so I was like, how are they going to do this at this iconic, like Alto Manhattan, like place. And I would kind of be like Nina, like, let me listen to my block and like take it in those moments where I wasn't working, because this was my first experience on set. And I knew that it was an anomaly that all these people, a Latin leading cast, and just people of color in general, and the entire spectrum of Latinidad, which not always do we get to see that. When you see Afro Latinidad and you see, everybody represented in this community, I was like, these people look like my family. This looks like what I grew up with. And it made me feel so validated and so important and so empowered, and also set the bar for me for like the purpose behind what I hope to do in the future. I hope that people feel that from all the work that we put into this, and the things that we go on to do separately, that's our goal,